I want to say to all of you this evening, those of you who are listening here, that I, as the political leader, I, as the first female chief secretary in Tobago, have every intention of leading this island to modernization. I want to say to all of you this evening that we in the People's National Movement, we are focused on wealth generation. We are focused on ensuring that we have an expanded private sector and the space where each and every Tobagonian can thrive, no matter what your limitations are. So if we're talking to the boys on the block, we have a space for you in our administration. If we are talking about the single mothers, we have a space for you in this administration. If we are talking about the not so young and the not so old, we have a space for you in this administration going forward, under the leadership of Tracy Davidson Celestine, an experienced politician. We speak from a platform of truth. And so the strength and the stability of the PNM will be delivered to your door. It will be delivered to your gate. It will be delivered to your street and even to your village and districts. And that is why we have chosen 15 or 14 rather candidates who understand each and every electoral district, who understand that they are to go out there in the communities and to represent the people going forward. 15 electoral districts, smaller electoral districts, less people to manage. It means that under my leadership, each and every representative should know each and every resident in their electoral district by name. And this is what I offer to you here this evening. We are not about driving around in Prados and big black vehicles. We are about dressing up in boots. We are about putting on Gideon suits. We are about ensuring that we go out there in short sleeve and work with each and every one of you. We are about reconnecting with you, the people on the ground, wherever we are. And so under my leadership, there will be a new vibration. There will be a new vision under the leadership of Tracy Davidson Celestine.
December 6th, take no chance.
91.9 FM brings you today's tips to improve your financial literacy. Improving your financial literacy is a never-ending endeavor that
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Protected me, stand Lord, your grace is so sweet. This is a new chapter. She going to write history. She have the right energy. Just don't be no what in the future. We are never the way. 6th of December, ready for victory. Everybody's here, we waiting. Everybody's here, we voting. I tell you, we don't decide. We don't want no bad vibes in the land. Because I, whether me ready up for the task. Because I, red and ready to go, red and ready to wave, red and ready to vote, ready to make we name, all ready to fight hard and fear God from up down to your yard. We don't take the side, we ready to rain, we are the fire, we are the energy, a positive energy. going to write history. She have the right energy. Can't stop me now, what I feel with future. We are the money way. 6th of December. Ready for victory. Body's here, we waiting. This body's here, we voting. I tell you, we done 50 side. We ready to ride. We are the money fire. We are the money energy. A positive energy. And we cannot damage it. This side of fire. This side of energy. A positive energy. And we cannot damage it. Show me that everything. Show me that everything. We taking a chances. We don't reside. Oh. Show me that everything. Show me that everything. Taking a chances. We don't reside. Oh.
To be able to protect your future. Preserve your identity. Don't take no chances. They want to divide me. Chaos in the assembly. Here say your money. Them can't my diary.
Don't pick we side. We ready to ride. We are the money fire. We are the money energy. A positive energy.
So good afternoon to you, the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Top of the afternoon to you.
Positive energy.
Good afternoon to those of you on the web.
Everything we taking a chance.
Locking us down right now via Facebook and YouTube.
Everything. Show me that everything.
Those of you locking us down locally, regionally, internationally.
Health, strength, and unity.
Wherever you're listening to my voice,
We are tracing.
I say thank you so much for choosing me.
With new plans for you.
My name is Aisha Wells and I'm in your company today. The thing done sell off. Shamari is on the inside. How you doing, Shamari?
Queen of talk, I'm good, Tobago is good, our people are okay, and we are ready to activate.
One time, so you know we don't have enough time today, so we just going to shoot from the hip. Yes?
Right, Aisha, I want to destroy a certain narrative out there today. Some members of this people opposite, those people destined for prison, PDP, those people without principles, PDP, they are arguing and saying that my political leader, woman of integrity, Tracy Davidson-Celestine, has plagiarized their ideas because they have said that they will be building Tobago community by community. But Aisha, remember I told you on the first day of our show together that those people are intellectually bankrupt and they do not have ideas to sustain their platform promises, and that they glean from the People's National Movement. Well, for those of you who have been following my personal and public pages on Facebook, you will know that when Shomari Ajani Hector opens his mouth to speak, he stands on the basis of material facts that can withstand legal scrutiny. Aisha, I do not talk loosely. I do not talk vainly. My ideas are not based on vain imaginings. They are documented by statements of facts. So I have in my possession today the People's National Movement Manifesto of 2016 for the term in office 2017-2021. Hear what the then political leader said. And I quote, let me present the document. It was Kelvin Charles at the point in time, the political leader. And he said, message from the political leader, Tobago Council of the PNM, in response to the publication of our manifesto. He says, our overarching strategy is one that is community-driven and productivity-focused. Just as one builds a house block by block by block, so too shall Tobago be developed community by community by community. In other words, he says, community development will be the axis around which Tobago's future development will revolve. He goes on to say, in the short to medium term, the Tobago economy will be fueled by the natural gas of tourism, agriculture, light manufacturing, and services specific to communities. This approach provides tremendous hope and a clear vision for the development and empowerment of our communities. This will therefore facilitate job creation, the reduction of poverty levels, improvement in the standard of our living, and the quality of life, especially for young men and young women. The vision therefore realizes a Tobago where family wants what is best for their loved ones and are willing to sacrifice to provide them with opportunities. Small and micro enterprises willing to roll up their sleeves to take on bigger chances towards job creation. Our senior citizens having worked hard throughout their lives while enjoying peaceful retirement in their communities will be willing to act as role models and mentors to young men and women in their communities. And it goes on and on and on. The reason why I have read the political leaders' opening salvo in the preamble of the Constitution and the manifesto for 2017 is because we have a bunch of dishonest PDP who have mounted their platforms and are saying to the people of Tobago, the plan to develop Tobago on the basis of community by community is engineered by them. It is their work, Aisha.
So you mean to tell me they thought that we don't keep records of the manifestos we have done over the years, that we would have forgotten this?
Because they forget their own lives, they think that we will not remember our truth. But we have the records here, Aisha. We have the material facts that can withstand legal scrutiny. We have the information. So when that Abby Taylor, with her intellectually bankrupt self, could go on a platform and talk about their first line of defense would be single mothers and women who are single parent families, that was a part of our manifesto, Aisha. And I want you to understand why a manifesto is so important. You remember I said the conversation was being had where people are talking about manifestos not important, just mount your platform and talk to the issues. No, Aisha, a manifesto is a guiding document. It is a blueprint for your further development. And let me tell you, listen to this. Listen to this. This is in Pericles' funeral oration some 431 years before the birth of Christ. Democracy was already in play. This is what he says. He says in the third paragraph, our form of government does not enter into rivalry with other institutions. Our government does not copy our neighbors, but is an example to them. I wanted to substitute government for PNM. PNM does not enter into rivalry with other political institutions. Our party does not copy our neighbors. It is an example to them. And it is because we have provided the example that they cannot stand on their platforms to plagiarize. It goes on, yet. It is true that we are called a democracy, for the administration is in the hands of the many and not of the few. But while there exists equal justice to all and alike in their private disputes, the claim of excellence is also recognized. And when a citizen is in any way distinguished, he is preferred to the public service, not as a matter of privilege, but as a reward of merit. Let me stop there. When a citizen is in any way distinguished, he is preferred to the public service, not as a matter of privilege, but as a reward of merit. You would think that the fact that they have offered themselves to public service means that they have the merit of character defined by integrity and decency, trustworthiness, and honesty. Aisha, instead, what these people who are aspiring to high offices are doing is plagiarizing the work of previous PNM-led Tobago House of Assembly administrators and pretending as though we do not have the information, we do not have the evidence, and we cannot call them out on their follies. Plagiarism is a high act of intellectual dishonesty.
But I am not surprised. I don't know. Trinidadians and Tobagonians have short memory, Shamari, and I'll tell you why. Do you remember a particular political leader plagiarized an entire speech from a member of parliament in London, England?
Yes.
And you remember that, listen, it was embarrassing until they had to come back on their platform and apologize for it. Why do the two political parties, PDP and UNC, seem to be so similar?
Because they are birds of a feather. In fact, PDP is the birth child and the brainchild and the result of UNC's attack on the sensibilities of the peoples of Tobago. So because UNC cannot come with their yellow axe, Ashworth Jack, they decided to send a green, and they called that creature Watson Duke. I call him Judas Iscariot because he's prepared to sell Tobago for 30 pieces of silver. But we are no fools, Aisha. We're protecting the future. We're protecting our patrimony. We're paying attention to the history. We have the material facts and the information, and we are careful enough to remind them that we know the truth, and we can discern between lies and trickery and all kinds of evil that they are trying to force down our throats. Aisha, we have the information. We're ready for them.
I can tell you, Shamari, this is officially 1 week since we have been at it, and I have seen a turnaround on the ground in Tobago. People are comfortable with the fact that they are hearing from the other side. We are not afraid to address issues as we see fit, and we are not afraid to point out the lies on the other side.
Yes. Yes. Imagine, I was watching a live today by Kevon McKenna. I can call his name because he went live. So he put his business in public domain, and I am a member of the public, so I can call his name. And Kevon is arguing that he has a master's. He is vexed with the PNM because he does not have a work that pays him $15,000 a month. Now, that is the same Kevon McKenna who was putting on PNM jerseys and coming to all political activities in the elections of January, supporting Tracy Davidson Celestine because he was eyeing a work. But it's not only was he eyeing a work, what he didn't realize that we noticed is that the man was in fact a political mercenary who was preparing himself to be sold to the highest bidder. And so Kevon is an executive of the Tobago Forward political party, served in the cabinet in the internal arrangements with Christine Moore. But when Christine Moore dug her political grave, Kevon McKenna put on a PNM jersey, was talking how Tracy was the best thing. But because Tracy does not negotiate with terrorists, and that is what Kevon is, a domestic political terrorist and mercenary, he now changed his tune and is saying that Tracy is no good because he doesn't get a $15,000 work with his masters that he's sitting down on. But remember Pericles and Thucydides said in the funeral oration, if a citizen is in any way distinguished, he is preferred to our public service. So today I'm asking Kevon McKenna to ask himself the question, Kevon, am I distinguished? Why am I not preferred to public service? Dig yourself, Kevon. You are a political mercenary. And let me tell you, this is the last time I'm going to talk about Kevon because he's as insignificant as yesterday. We are focused on our today in preparation for our tomorrows. So Kevon, I just wanted to understand my political leader, unlike yours, does not negotiate with terrorists, neither foreign nor domestic, and we have recognized you to be a political mercenary, prepared to be sold to the highest political bidder. We do not want your support. You can keep that home.
One thing I've also noticed, Shamari, is that a lot of young people on the ground, they're starting to realize where they were being fooled. Last evening, those on the other side had a meeting. I think they was opening some office somewhere. And when I looked at the crowd, Shamari, it wasn't the same group of young people that have been following them up and down the place as was before. It appears to be one or two of them who probably gained a little change, a little scrums. But the excitement and the momentum they had over the last few days, it's no more. It's no more. People starting to make them out.
Yes, and we have gone on a radical education political campaign that brings truth to the attention of the Tobagonian people and the electorate. Aisha, the facts of the matter is that the Tobagonian people have recognized that Watson Duke is all lightning and thunder with absolutely no rain. He cannot deliver on his promise, so he makes a lot of noise. He generates a set of fear. He creates an environment for excitement and expectation, but does not deliver because of his dishonesty and his lack of commitment to vision and to mission. The Tobagonian people have recognized that, and they are turning their backs on Watson Duke. Lie number one, let me drop the bomb.
Drop it quickly.
They said that PNM did a polls and that somebody from among our ranks leaked information to them, and so the polls have realized that PDP has a safe 4, PNM have a safe 4, and the other seats are neck and neck and therefore up for grabs. Aisha, no further line had ever been told than that. No such poll was commissioned by the PNM. In fact, the polls that we done that were unofficial and on the basis of individual enthusiasm, not an organizational decision. It was based on individual pride and expectation that we conducted a poll, and our poll shows that we have comfortably anchored 10 seats in the election, and one was particularly close and is tentative. And so therefore, we have the opportunity to secure at least 11 seats in the elections of December 6th, but they are trying to pervert the integrity of that information by telling the people this is a close fight. This is not a close fight. This is a political annihilation of the people of the PDP, and the people of the People's National Movement are ready, and they are ready. They are standing in defense of Tobago, they are protecting their future, and they are coming out to vote resoundingly for the People's National Movement. Let them take that in the pipe and smoke it.
And I just want to remind you that the PSA or the report is still making wrongs here in Trinidad. They're not going to leave that alone, eh?
And let me tell you,
they say over 100 million unaccounted for, Shamari.
Let me tell you, Aisha, as of today, a friend of mine was invited to a meeting by the fraud squad to provide evidence to support the claims of wrongdoing, malfeasance, and misfeasance in the PSA. And so it has formally attracted the attention of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service fraud squad. Watson Duke, I told you, we are coming for you.
So you mean to tell me, while all this election taking place, the police might be questioning persons pertaining to this?
That is what I'm saying, and I'm saying that with certainty. And the only way that cannot happen is if the police decide to pervert the course of justice by taking a hands-off approach. But I don't know that all police have become so recluse and have become so slack and so irresponsible, because they have triggered the process to hold President of the PSA, Mr. Watson Duke, to an account on the basis of the Chartered Accountants audit that has been reviewed on the discretion and the instruction of a High Court judgment. Hey, somebody thieving the soul of the nation.
Hey, you could sing.
I told you, somebody's stealing the soul of the nation, and we have to stop that incredible Watson Duke.
Listen, the public service works too hard, taxpayers working too hard, and of course we need to account for their funds. We're going to go to the phone lines. We're going to open up the lines. I know a lot of you want to get in. Do quick and get in. Numbers to call 342-0081, 771-1791, 466-5391. Yes, get in as quickly as you can. Let's go. The lines are open. Caller, you're live.
Hey, Elisha.
Hey, how you doing, big brother?
May I continue to bless the and sin. All love blessings come from the Most High. Great is the PNM, we really coming. You know that one?
We coming.
Really
Stay one place, you're cutting off.
Yeah, they're disturbing with themselves. And I love to hear the brethren reason that is a powerful race, man. That is the kind of PNM we want in the Twin Islands.
Right, Shamari is a powerful one. The lines are open. Let me say good afternoon to those of you locking us down right now. The entire Red Army crew. Jennifer Frederick on Facebook says there is a report before the fraud squad on Watson Solomon Duke since March of this year, so the file is very active. Caller, you live?
Good afternoon, Aisha.
How you doing?
I did, girl. I was talking to a friend in Tobago, and they say that this, I forget the name of the word, what was he planning to do? It's people is going to lose the job. That is people working with the THA. They say they working with the THA, so they say they don't know if them are not right part in it. So they say that his own people know. They say they're not voting for him. Somebody was telling me that from Tobago City. Okay?
Thank you so much. Let's see who is there. Caller, you live? Caller, go right ahead.
Yeah.
Caller, you live?
Aisha Wells, good
Hey, how you
afternoon to
doing?
Hello?
Go ahead, caller.
Hello? Hello?
We can hear you.
Let's see another one. Caller, you live?
Hello.
Yes, caller, you live?
Yes, I listen to this campaign saying these is the amount of thing everybody promised and is like Tobago never had anything. CNN never do nothing for the last 20 years. They want to share everything right now. What do you think about us?
Thank you so much. Let's see if we can get another one in. Caller, you live?
Hello. Aisha.
Yes, caller, live.
Hello.
Go right ahead, please.
I'm not hearing you. I'm not hearing you now. Oh gosh, good. Okay, thank you. Good day, Aisha. Good day, Mr. Shamari. Aisha, Mr. Shamari, keep on what you're doing. You're doing a good job. And constantly give the information about the UNC and PDP connection. That is what I want to hear. About the PDP,
Yes,
the UNC.
you.
You have a good day.
And pray for me.
Let's see if we get this one on the inside. Caller, you live?
Good afternoon, Aisha. Good afternoon to the young man there with you.
Hey, how are you?
I am going to ask the young fella some questions. Sir, who is really the leader of the PDP in Tobago? Is it Watson Duke or Farley? Because I believe what we're getting right now, it sounds like Watson Duke is the leader of the PDP. Because we ain't hearing anything from Farley. We're hearing Watson Duke making one set of promises right through. And then I wondering if it's the THA election or if it's a PSA election. Because the way he's promising government workers certain things in an election, I wonder if it's the PSA have an election. So could you answer them two questions for me, please?
Caller, you're live.
I wonder if
Hello?
that Aisha wanted to play.
Hello?
Hold on, Shamari. We go check it out just now. Let's see if you're there. Caller, we're hearing you loud and clear.
Yes, my darling. Good afternoon.
How you doing?
Good afternoon. Let me answer that last caller. The Prime Minister is the Prime Minister in waiting is Watson Duke, and the Chief Secretary is Farley Augustine. Here now, Aisha Wells and Shamari. Good afternoon, my brother in Tobago. Ready to be on them? Yeah, then I have a question. Where is Watson Duke going to get that $150 million to pay for every district in Tobago? Shamari, I want you to answer that question for me. I looked on and listening.
Hear who you asking now. Shamari, hear who he asking now. He asking you, you know. Caller, you live. Go ahead, Shamari. Not there. Go ahead, Shamari. Come in at any time.
Yes, Aisha, I wonder if you have that recording of Watson Duke asking for independence and secession from Trinidad.
Yes, I will go back and look for it for you here. Go ahead.
Because I want the Tobagonian people to understand what is at stake. Watson Duke is trying to create a Tobago that is ungovernable, but at the same time a space that gives him unlimited access to our island's resources so that he can line his pocket, generating wealth which he has not earned. Watson Duke is reading from and using strategies from a UNC playbook, and the people of Tobago needs to be guided. The people of Tobago need to be informed. The people of Tobago needs to protect their job. Aisha, Watson has said he's going to punish every person who has waved a PNM flag. He has promised to reduce the labor force in the THA by 35 to 40%. Now, if you look at that, Aisha, I am saying to the Tobagonian people, and I'm taking it down because I want them to understand, PNM does not comprise 25% of the present Tobago labor force in the THA. In fact, we do not even comprise 15%. In fact, we are less than 12% of the labor force. So when Watson Duke is prepared to reduce that labor force by 35 to 40%, what he is in fact saying is that he is targeting anybody who he is not expressly sure has supported him. So that even the persons who may have supported him but were not very overt and obvious in their support is likely to feel the wrath of Watson Duke because he's sending them home. So unless you put on a black jersey with a green emblem embellished in it, you are in trouble, because Watson Duke is not loyal to anybody who cannot hide his crimes and support his public acts of illegalities and indecencies. We have to protect our future, Aisha. I want you to play it if you find it.
I'm looking for it right now. Let's see who's there. Let's go straight to the phone lines. Caller, you are live.
Aisha Wells, good afternoon to you. And
hey, how you doing?
Good afternoon to you, brother.
Good afternoon.
And Mr. Shamari, you come across as you have a problem with UNC people in Tobago, which is really Indian people in Tobago. Indian people spend a lot of money in Tobago by holidays and things. So your contribution, how you're coming across, it's like the Calypsonian. Indian people stand to keep away from Tobago, as how the PNM coming across and a national rate, It's come like we say, well, we feel sad, we love Tobago. We love to go and spend thousands of dollars in Tobago. But the way how you all come across, you have a problem with Indian people coming in Tobago and Indian Calcutta coming to take here.
Apparently you were not listening to the program, caller. Yes, so we won't waste time to respond. But I'm going to play the clip. I have it here. Tell me when you're ready. Go ahead.
Play the clip there for me, Aisha, please.
I'm not making this up. They stood on their platform and they say they want independence.
We want independence from Trinidad.
Their political leader wants to be prime minister of something.
We must have our own prime minister in Tobago. We want a chief secretary. Stupidness. Let's rock so with that.
They're silent on it now because it may not sell well in the election campaign, but they told you what they want. You know who they're involved with in Trinidad, who will give you independence in the morning if you want it, because you are standing in their way from the Trinidad end.
Give the PDP the East and the West seats, and in 6 months' time, you will have full internal self-government. We don't want Trinidad judicial system. We don't want that. We must have our high court right here. Our immigration officers must come from right here. We don't want to share no immigration. We don't want no air traffic control with Trinidad. We must control every bloody thing. And if it wasn't clear to you, let me tell you this. What I'm asking for is secession. We need to move away from Trinidad.
Wow, wow, wow. Every single time I hear that, I just go, wow. It doesn't get more, he tell you what you want.
Yes, Aisha, I want you to understand. 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 Aisha, I want you to The man wants to move away from Trinidad, but here the lines in it that stood out most to me, Aisha. He says, we want our own prime minister in Tobago. We don't want no chief secretary stupidness. But yet he's promoting Fari as his potential chief secretary. So if the position of chief secretary is based on a public display of foolishness, then what is mature Watson doing to young Fari, who should be falling under his tutelage and his training? Where is his duty of care to Fari to help Fari to grow and become a better version of himself? Why is he prepared to sacrifice Fari for him to become somebody's prime minister on the island of Tobago? And Fari, where has your judgment fled? How come you can't see that you are a sacrificial lamb being led to the slaughter? Where are you with that? He's talking about we want high court in Tobago. As far as I know, we have such a thing operating here. But if we're talking about secession, who then will pay those high court judges? Because you and I know, Aisha, a high court judge don't work for no small money. And if we're not talking about revenue generation on the island of Tobago sufficient to maintain our industries and sustain our ways of life, then when we're going to pay high court judges with salt?
But what currency are you going to use? Is Tobago to have their own currency?
We don't even have the idea of a printry. So when we get secession in the morning and we move away from Trinidad, we establish an independent Tobago that will be called UNCT, then how are we going to get monies to sustain our everyday way of life and to meet our future promise with a reasonable standard of excellence?
From people who can't even sit down and write a manifesto without plagiarizing it.
And they want people to trust their leadership. Let me tell you something, Aisha. As a young man, they have said that respect is earned and not given. I've never subscribed to that. I think if you're respectful, you're respectful. And that is what I believe. Nobody don't have to earn my respect. I am a respectful man. I will love for you to be respectful towards me, but I will always be respectful towards you. So I have established that years ago as a young man. But the other thing I have established alongside that, Aisha, is that people must be worthy of my allegiance. You must be worthy of my followership because I expect you to be worthy of my leadership. So when I give you a trusted position to lead and direct and to take responsibility for occasioning opportunities to help me realize my potential, you must be worthy of that allegiance. And today, Watson Duke has not proven his worthiness as a leader. He has not proven his worthiness as a president in the PSA, and he certainly has not demonstrated worthiness for Prime Minister of Tobago because he has lied to his deputy Fari, prepared to sacrifice this position of Chief Secretary. Fari, I wanted to wake up. Tobagonian people, I wanted to wake up. Watson want to send you home with a little thing to enjoy your Christmas. In other words, he's saying drink rum and get drunk and go realize that you have lost your patrimony. I want us to pay attention, protect your future, vote solidly, vote resoundingly, vote convincingly for the People's National Movement.
Another one, caller, you live.
Aisha, you hear that man now say they just now there? Since when UNC people is Indian people alone? Since when every party in Trinidad and Tobago have a race? You don't have Indian people there, African people there, is an all-inclusive party.
And that is why I choose not to entertain COP.
Yeah, what foolishness he just spoke there? So we trying to tell African people, you are not invited to the UNC? So when we vote for Watson Duke and Tobago, is a vote for the UNC, so we're not invited into the UNC. That we telling the people at Tobago too?
PDP must tell us who is the hidden hand. Who is the hidden hand that is instructing them in Tobago?
No, I will ask a question. I say use a boss, use a boss. They ain't ready for you yet, you know. But who is the high hierarchy in meeting with Watson Duke in Tobago? He should say that. That is what you should inform people about. Who is the hierarchy, who is meeting with them in Tobago? Have a blessing.
Thank you so much, Shamari. The countdown is on. 2 minutes to go. Closing comments. Bring it home.
Yes, Aisha. Again, I always want to thank you for this opportunity for me to minister the gospel and the doctrine of the People's National Movement to the hearing of the national community, but more particularly the people of Tobago. And I want to remind the people of Tobago that what you will be voting for on the 6th of December is job security. That what you will be voting for is Tobago's sense of decency. That what you will be voting for is the protection of the island's treasury. That what you will be voting for is the island's governance and continuity. What you will be voting for is our sense of stability. That what you will be voting for is the sake and the future of your children and every other generation that will come thereafter. So make no mistakes. Do not take chances with your future. Do not gamble your destiny. Do not cast lots on your opportunities, but instead inform a conscious decision, support the PNM, and let us carry the work of improvement together as we protect each other's future. My name is Shomari Ajani Hector, and I love you. Aisha, I'll see you soon.
Yes, Shomari, see you soon. So Trinidad and Tobago, 1 week down, 1 week down, one more to go. And we're taking it week by week as we dismantle the lies by those on the other side. Yeah. So much to tell you guys. There's so much to discuss. All I have to tell you is keep it locked to the Street 919 FM because you're going to be taken to this election virtually. Yeah, we're bringing it home for you. So you could sit down in your place and watch it. Stay locked on to the Street 919 FM. Stay with us on YouTube. Stay with us on Facebook as we bring the election to your door. As I usually say, TNT, do a good deed. We're going to go for a break. Don't go nowhere. We'll be back.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
I went to the bed and I eat and I sleep and I wake and I'm ready to leave. Yeah, there we go. Sour, I come in day. Boba, I come in day. Santa Cruz, I come in day. A day and a day and a day and a day. Victor, I come in day. John, I come in day. La Panty, I come in day. A day and a day and a day and a day. People has come and people has go. That is one thing I already know. Who said that when I find me so I go check on them and tell them I said no. The biggest big mass in the whole world is in Trinidad and Tobago. The reason why they sing is so I like it. Say no to one. Arriba, I come in day. Puna Puna, I come in day. Aruka, I come in day. A day and a day and a day and a day. I come in day. Point Fountain, I come in day. Tigo Martin, I come in day. A day and a day and a day. Come in day. Anybody who wants you white, then get on the guy nothing and bright. You cannot be down in Faisabad. You cannot be in paradise. If you don't have I will not complain. And I see and bunch. He young and wine and sing goodbye. And for the change of there and this are real. I come in there. I come in there. I come in there. A day and a day and a day and a day. I come in there. I come in there. I come in there. A day and a day and a day.